If you're going to have your Dynasty rookie draft on the Sleeper platform, this video is for you because we all know the ADP there is absolutely busted. Now, I've already done 4 Dynasty rookie drafts myself, and I've noticed, yeah, the guys that I'm looking at on the site at the top of rankings are completely different than what Sleeper is giving me on this list. And if your league mates aren't paying close enough attention, they're going to make some crucial mistakes that you can actually take advantage of in your rookie drafts. So what I decided to do is I decided to get y'all a real ADP list. I went ahead and I took 7 mock drafts and real drafts from across the community, not only from myself, but also from the guys over there at Dynasty Domain. They hosted some of these, and the guys at Dynasty Land, obviously creators that we have with flockfantasy.com, put out phenomenal work, and they've been doing a ton of mock drafts as of late. I took those 7 drafts and I compiled a list of real ADP that is up to date after the NFL draft, as opposed to Sleepers, which is still including pre-draft rankings. And I'm cross-referencing the pre-draft ADP that Sleeper is giving you for your rookie drafts right now and real ADP in drafts that are happening today. I'm going to give you the guys that you should target, the guys that you need to scroll way the hell down for, and then the guys that don't get fooled into thinking that they are going to be decent values just because they're at the top of the list every time you're on the clock. Now, I want to point this out with 2 guys early on that I was kind of surprised to see where their ADP was in comparison to my rankings. Sleeper has Luther Burden as the 7th highest ranked player. So they have him as a mid-round 1 pick. And yes, this is for Superflex rookie drafts at the moment. Whereas I personally rank Luther Burden around the 203. I wouldn't really consider him until the beginning of the 2nd round because, yes, I know he was a super exciting wide receiver prospect coming into the draft, but now he goes into an offense where he could potentially be the 4th option. And then at the same time, he fell to the 2nd round where some people thought that he had a chance to go round 1. So Burden was ranked at 7. I have him ranked a little bit closer to that 203, 204. And if we're looking at the real ADP that we have from those 7 drafts that have been concluded after the NFL draft, he's actually more so going at the 201. But I would make the argument that I think some people are getting suckered into him and just taking him there at pick 12, at pick 11, because he looks like he's a sliding value when maybe you should consider somebody like Higgins, who we'll talk about later in this video instead. Another player that I noticed that was going pretty damn early was Tyler Warren. If we're looking at the real 7 drafts that we've done, his actual ADP mark is going to be 10.0. And if I cross-reference this with Loveland, Loveland is going after him, despite, in my opinion, Loveland getting better NFL draft capital, arguably being just as good of a prospect, and at the same time, finding himself in a much better offense in Chicago, as opposed to what Tyler Warren's going to have to deal with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. But whenever I went over and looked at the Sleeper ADP, it made sense why people are getting suckered into this 1v1. You have Tyler Warren with the Sleeper ADP marked at 6 as a mid-first round pick, whereas you're actually looking at Loveland down there at 13. So this is another adjustment that you need to make. For my personal preference, I'm going to prefer Loveland straight up over Tyler Warren. I'm not telling you that you need to do the same, but what I would stress is, please, for the love of God, do not be taking Tyler Warren in the middle of the 1st round, as we are seeing in some of these drafts. Now, later on, this is where I think the ADP really suckers people in the mid-2nd round, in the late 2nd round, because maybe you're on the clock at maybe the 301 or maybe at the 213, and you don't love any of the prospects. You haven't done as much research on those guys. And you see, Devin Neal, I know this was a running back that had a lot of volume at Kansas. I know a lot of people are excited about him before the NFL draft. He had an ADP of 18. I'm on the clock at the 302. Can I go ahead and take him now? And of course you can, but I do just want to point out that, yeah, his now actual ADP is a lot closer to 28. So he should be that 3rd round pick, whether you're going to take him in the early 3rd or the mid 3rd, but do not be taking Devin Neal in the middle of the 2nd round. Dylan Sampson is another example. This was a running back a lot of people thought could actually surprise and get day 2 NFL draft capital. falls to day 3 and he's going to be parked behind Quinshon Judkins, maybe make the argument he's a receiving back, maybe make the argument he's a premium handcuff, but still Sleeper has his ADP as a round 2 pick. In reality, you should be expecting him to go to the middle of the 3rd round. Like Ayomanor is going to be another one of these guys, was a 2nd rounder. Now, actually, I wouldn't be touching him until closer to the end of the 3rd. Shedeur Sanders goes without being said. What's actually funny is we saw that you had Sleeper, I believe, take him completely off their ADP list. They clearly knew to fix that almost immediately. But those are the big guys that I think that you should be avoiding in drafts. Now, the main thing that I want to discuss and what's going to be more important is the players you need to be scrolling down for. The players that may not even be on the Sleeper ADP list that you need to actually not scroll down for, but search in the search bar and take as massive values. The first guy is going to be Travis Hunter. Now, I know there are opinions all across the internet on Hunter. Some people are viewing him as the clear 102, unquestioned. Some people are asking him if he can be the same tier as Ginty, and other people are saying he's a corner. I'm not touching him in the 1st round at all. I think that it's a little bit of a happy medium. I think you have a wide range of outcomes. I think personally, I'm still going to go Hampton, given the fact that he is a 3-down bell cow and checks every box, but Hunter is my 103. Now, if you want to take him at 3, if you want to take him at 4, if you want to take him at 5, doesn't matter. Based off the conversations that we have heard in Jacksonville, they are leaning for him to go with the wide receiver. And we've had that growing sentiment of people that are tuned in and paying attention, putting Hunter as an early 1st round pick now, whereas on Sleeper, he is still listed at 12. So maybe this is an example of a player that you end up getting at pick 5, you end up getting at pick 6, you end up getting at pick 7 in your rookie draft, when in reality, he should have gone at the very beginning of that tier. So 100%, if you get the following value of Travis Hunter, do not hesitate. And if y'all wanted to practice for your draft, you don't necessarily have to deal with the bad Sleeper ADP list at the bottom. 2 different things you can do. 1, I'm going to post this ADP list on flockfantasy.com for anybody who's a member. But 2, also, we do have the free mock drafts on flockfantasy.com at the moment as well. Pushed out some massive updates that fix some of the bugs that we had on the initial launch. Obviously, we are still in beta. We launched this thing about 48 hours ago. But you can go to flockfantasy.com and join a mock draft at any point you want to prepare, whether it's for a startup draft, whether it's for your rookie draft, or whether it's just to have fun. I'm going to leave the link to flockfantasy.com in the description and comment section. Completely free, but they are public mock drafts that y'all can all get in. Super excited. We've had a ton of people completing drafts. But moving over to the later rounds, where obviously we know about Travis Hunter, RJ Harvey is going to be the biggest guy that you need to scroll down for, where if you're at the beginning of the 2nd round and maybe you're sitting here debating between guys like Trey Harris, Milroe, or any of these other early 2nd rounders, you actually have Harvey down with an ADP of 30 on the Sleeper platform. So you are going to have to search his name. You are going to have to remember him at the beginning of round 2. Other guys that fit that same mold, specifically for the 2nd round, Jaden Higgins has a real ADP of 17. However, on Sleeper, he is listed down there at 39. Tootin doesn't even have an ADP inside the top 48 picks. If you look at this screenshot, if you just let the bots draft on Sleeper, through the first 48 picks, Tootin will not even get drafted. So this is going to be another name that you are going to have to go out of your way. You're going to have to search if you want to be taking him in the middle of the 2nd round. That's where he typically goes. He has an ADP of 18 in real drafts. Jack Beck is also one of these other names that has a mid-2nd round ADP in real drafts. However, he is a 4th round pick on the Sleeper ADP, so he will be a name to remember to slow down for. Kyle Williams, going to be another guy like Tootin that's not anywhere close. You're going to have to go out of your way. You're going to have to add him to your queue. You are going to have to start him. And he should be going in the mid to late 2nd round of your actual rookie drafts. Jaden Blue is another one of those names. You'd have to scroll down pages. Gets the phenomenal landing spot with the Dallas Cowboys. Really, that's the only reason he's going so early in drafts right now. But he is actually going to be a late 2nd to early 3rd round pick in your rookie draft. We know the Saints took a 38-year-old quarterback, which, of course, if you wanted to just scratch him off your board, you're more than welcome to. But previously, he wasn't getting drafted inside the top 48 picks on Sleeper. And now you should expect him to be a late 2nd to early 3rd round pick in your Superflex drafts. I don't necessarily know if there are too many other names that we really need to mark as go out of your way, target these players. You have some running backs in the late third, like Woody Marks, Hunter, that you should go out there and grab. But you do also have an issue with a couple of these other players that they are going to be clogging up the top of that ADP list by the time you get to round 3, by the time you get to round 4. The players you should be expecting to clog up the top of that ADP list that people aren't going to take, that people have no interest in. Ollie Gordon has a ranking of 20 on Sleeper. In reality, his real ADP is closer to about 41. Will Howard has an ADP of 29 on Sleeper. His real ADP is closer to 46. Damian Martinez has a real ADP of 33 on Sleeper. Again, don't take him. Quinn Ewers has an ADP of 21 on Sleeper. Tez Johnson sitting there at 38. Gunnar Helm sitting there at 31. Dylan Gabriel's at 35. Xavier Restrepo's at 27. And Isaiah Bonds at 29. So again, the major issue is once you get to rounds 3 and 4, you're going to be clogged up with a bunch of these players that you shouldn't have any interest in. Make sure you're not using the Sleeper platform when you're determining your rookie picks. For the love of God, go look at a real ADP list. Go look at real rankings. The average expert rankings on flockfantasy.com are free. I'll post this ADP list for free on flockfantasy.com as well. And also, of course, you can get in practice with real mock drafts on the site too. So just please make sure you're prepared for your rookie draft. Understand that the Sleeper rankings are absolute garbage. There's no reason for you to use them. They are going to lead to your league mates making mistakes in the draft that I hope you can avoid if you are using this cheat sheet.